Hey guys, it's Jordan. Today I wanted to talk to you about finding a trans-friendly and knowledgeable therapist. And the reason for this is I've had several therapists that weren't knowledgeable. The first therapist I ever came out to claimed that they had other clients that were transgender, but it didn't seem like it from the questions they were asking and how they were acting. But they did ask one good question, which is, when you first saw yourself as a guy, how did you see yourself? And that was, I think, a very important question to ask. And then, I didn't talk to her for a couple months until things had gotten a little bit harder to deal with, at least about that topic. And she ended up seeming like she had more knowledge then, so that was good. But it was still just not the right fit. And then, I went off to college, and my college therapist didn't have any knowledge until I came to the school, and he knew what it was, but he didn't know specifics, and so I was educating him, and so I ended up leaving that school. But before I did, I ended up in a treatment center, and a couple of the therapists there, said that they would not recognize someone as the gender they identify as until they've had all the surgeries and hormone treatments, and I just thought that was ridiculous. Some of them also said that I was going to be a fetish for some people because I was still going to have the anatomy of a female, and I was very offended. I did not take really the rest of what they said with much trust or anything. I would just kind of brush it off because I was like, they're clearly not knowledgeable enough or a good therapist, at least on this situation or topic. And so I transferred schools, and now I'm at a really, really good school with a great therapist who knows what they're doing. But, prior to this, I also had a different therapist in the summer when I came home, and he had other transgender clients, but had never written a recommendation letter, so he was kind of getting consultations, and was kind of unsure, and kind of had to get consultations on things that I had said, because he wasn't as knowledgeable, I guess, as he should have been, and he's actually creating problems for me now as I'm trying to transition, because my parents are fighting back, and they're a little bit confused, so they're using certain things that he said that I didn't agree to against me, even though my current therapist at my new school, who's been great, has already approved me to get on hormones, and I've also had a second opinion from someone who doesn't know me at my school, so it's a non-biased opinion, and they've also cleared me, and Campus Health has also cleared me, and so, I don't know, but you do have to find a good therapist that works for you, who's knowledgeable about the topic, and, who is a trans-friendly therapist, and the way you can kind of tell that is, one, kind of by their office, if they show any sign of rainbows to represent, the LGBTQAI plus community, or maybe they have a profile on psychologytoday.com or Lincoln, and you can kind of look that up. There's also really, really good resources online, like Hudson's FTM guide, or and then they'll lead you to different websites with trans-friendly therapists who have a sliding scale, take insurance, that don't take insurance in your area. They will tell you how long they've been doing been in the practice, and so that's also a good indicator. If they say they specialize in LGBTQAI plus community issues, That's another good indicator, but the best indicator is if you go to them for a consultation and you kind of feel it out. You know, are they asking you, how long have you felt this way? You know, what's your future, you know, do you know your future goals? Do you want to get on hormones, or do you just want to, like, present more as the gender that you identify as? Some might ask you, like, can you picture yourself in your old age? Some may say, like my first therapist did, how did you first picture yourself? They'll ask you about your childhood history and kind of when you started to notice that something was different from your assigned gender at birth. And, you know, they might just have kind of a good vibe. They may be part of the LGBTQAI community themselves. It just depends. But if something doesn't feel right to you, then you need to get out of, you know, there and find a new therapist. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it takes a long time to find a therapist that fits you, and that's totally fine. The therapist I have now is great, and her office is, like, completely rainbow, and, like, she runs 2 support groups on campus and is part of the psychiatric, like, therapy on campus kind of thing. And she knows how to write the letter. She doesn't have to have consultations with other therapists. You know, she looks at my other therapist notes, but it's not like she has to go to someone and be like, how do I write the letter? No, she already knows how to do that. And so just you gotta find the fit. You know, she even said to me when my school doesn't do weekly therapy sessions, and she was like, but I really want you as, like, a client because we really click and I really feel like I can help you. And so she worked something out with her boss where she could see me every week for half a semester, and then we kind of play it by ear. And so if you find the therapist that works for you, they'll be willing to work with you. They'll know the questions to ask. You know, they'll know when to push you and when to kind of back off. They'll get to know you. And, you know, again, getting to know someone takes time, but trust your gut. You know when you found the right therapist. Alright, I hope that was helpful, guys. If you want any more advice or tips or tricks, or if you've found certain things to help find a good therapist, comment below, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks. See you guys.